There's one more trick we're going to try to fix this leaky liner, and it's never been done before. So stick around. So we shut off the big waterfall because behind that big rock, there's nothing. I mean, the rock's not sitting on a liner. This rock's actually sitting on supports that are underneath it to keep it elevated. Underneath there, and behind all those rocks, I think is where there's a bit of leaking. Now, I'm not about to remove all of these rocks, some of which are a ton or two. So I'm going to try something that nobody's ever recommended. We're going to try a little experiment. We're going to take some water, put water in a container here. You see the container's not leaking, right? Okay. We're going to add some bentonite to that, and we're going to put a hole in it. I'm going to take my knife here, put a hole in it. Now that hole is going to cause a leak. There, now we see a leak. I'm going to take some bentonite, put it there. You can see, it's just going to sit there. Now we're going to add some water to it because water is what's going to activate it.
Shut up and sit down.
And we're going to see now if that's going to hold the water. So eventually this stuff is all going to congeal. You can see what it's doing in there. It's expanding. I'm thinking I'm trying this out here because I don't want to make, if this is going to make a huge mess in the pond, I'd rather know beforehand. So we're just going to monitor this for the next little while. And the secret here is that we want to see if there's any water going to come out of the bottom of that. Well, let's see how this goes. So far, it's not leaking a thing. Wow. I'm kind of impressed. Okay. So let's get set up and we'll come back and check on this in 20 minutes there and see what happens. Okay, now let's have a look at the underside. I don't even see anything there. I think I'm going to dump out this water and have a look because I'm stirring it around here. I'm stirring it around. Oh, spilling stuff. I'm stirring it. I'm going to stir it around there and then see if it's still going to leak. Okay, I'm going to set it on another dry rock over here. Okay, I'm going to set it here on this dry rock. After stirring it up, we'll see what happens there. But I'm
Shut up and sit down.
pretty confident that we got a solution to our problem. So when we're up here at the top of the waterfall, we're seeing all kinds of, see down in here beside the big rock, we got one of our tubes there that feeds one of our fountains, and there's all kinds of room under there all the way around, in and behind the rocks and everything. So up here, when the pond is running, this is full of water. The other side over here is the same. There's deep caverns in here, and they fill up with water when the pond's running. But when the pond's not running, everything of course flows down to the bottom. That's why when the pond is not running, we're not experiencing any leaking. I was doing a ton of research trying to find out if anybody's ever done this on a pond with a liner in it, and nobody's tried it. I'm at the point of desperation. Like I said, we've been trying to do a $0 budget, and this is it. This is the $0 budget. This is bentonite that was given to me And so I'm gonna use it instead of lifting everything out and trying to get the instead of undoing it all. You can see it's all down in here. So I know this is wet in here too. So I'm gonna dump some on there. This has only gotten wet because of, down here it gets wet because of the backflow through this big rock. So we'll work with that. And I've got to come over on this side to try and get around all that stuff. I'm figuring if I can dump a ton of it down there and get the water running again, and then perhaps massage it down. See. Okay. I don't know if that's going to work. The pond's filling up pretty good.
Shut up and sit down.
This one here, that is right in there. With a rock on it. Yeah. And let's make that rock. We're going to circulate this for a while. I hope the pump doesn't clog up with this. Maybe we should just shut off the water and pull the pumps. There's no rule book on this. I put the bentonite in. I'm wanting it. It's getting wet. That's really weird. This area down here is not wet yet. Okay, we're going to let this run for 20 minutes and see what happens. Really murky, huh? But you know, apparently this stuff is going to settle and be clear. So we got one big mess up there. Hopefully I'll be able to scrub that and camouflage it. Other than that, I don't know what's what. Pumps don't look so bad. Don't look so bad. I think they'll be fine. And pull them out of the reservoir soon enough. So let's let this all settle. And we'll have some more fun. I'm hoping I didn't make a mistake. It's been quite a few hours and it hasn't settled yet. So at this point I'm going to leave it for the overnight and see if this clears up. The water still looks a little murky. I'm thinking I'm going to circulate it some more, and then we'll wow. Let's circulate the water some more to make sure that we get a good wet, because when I'm looking at other areas, there's still some areas that haven't received any water yet. Hopefully it's going to rain later today and that'll make everything else wet and activate the Bentonite. Well, I didn't quite get the results I had hoped for. Although the leaking is significantly reduced, there's still a little bit out there, but the biggest issue I've got now is that you can't get the water to clear up. Created a slurry. So down in here, in between the rocks, you can see all this bentonite that's all piled up there. It is really sluggish looking kind of mud. Middle Earth mud is what it looks like. This reminds me of some weird fantasy movie or novel. So I made a mess. We gotta start cleaning this stuff up. So first things first, let's start at the top. All of these are, look at all that stuff covered the rocks. So I'm gonna put these in a wheelbarrow full of water that I've got out there. I'm gonna wash them up. We put lava rock where there's water moving around it because it actually releases a beneficial bacteria that helps keep the water healthy. Not that it removes algae, but it inhibits the growth of algae. Lava rock, okay, go figure. So I'll just pick all these ones up, put them in there. Now this is when I'm glad that I put these valves on, because now removing them becomes that much easier. I can take these off. If I had that. There we go. Yeah, that's a good start. All I won't be putting these back in until the water clarity is cleared up. Now this one here, I just want to make sure that the hose doesn't clog up. So I'm just going to run water. Make sure that there's no clumps going to be inside the hose, right? I don't think it's a pretty big hose. I don't think it's going to get clogged up in that. Next thing I want to do, I want to flush the manifold. I don't know exactly how this is going to work because you can see it here. Well, these two go to the main waterfall. I've got one fountain there and one fountain here at the bottom. I want to be able to get enough water through this to push through everything. And I don't want to untangle the hoses because they go, they're woven through underneath and around rocks and all kinds of stuff. And one of the things that seems like far more work than what it's worth. Pour it in here. Maybe this might just be enough just to I hear it all flowing downstream, so that's a good thing. So now from here, I want to put water down here, which is going to push it out the pump on the other end. From here, on this side here is two other fountains, but I think I'm going to pour the water from the other end and make it drain out here. You can see we still got some stuff in it. So let's wash them out.
Shut up and sit down.
Now this hose here, this is connected to the T that feeds two of our little waterfalls, and it's been disconnected, and I was going to run some water through that, but before I do that, I'm going to drain the pond with this hose, and I'm just going to run it off the side here.